Hi everyone, welcome to the Model Gaming Show. I'm GWFawkes. It is April 26, 2018, and let's dig right in. Last week I forgot to mention Nintendo Labo also was releasing on the 20th, and it's just not something I'm interested in, something for me. I know it's generally aimed at kids, and I think that is the target audience, so I'm kind of staying away from it. It looks cool and fun, but it just to me looks like it has limited uses for what you can really do. I've seen some video of the piano accessory, and while that looks cool, I am not musically inclined at all, so I'm going to stay away from that. I know this is a video game show, and I talk about the latest video game news, but living in America and being the son of a big Detroit muscle guy, I wanted to talk about Ford's announcement really quick. Ford basically announced that they're going to stop selling most of their cars, their car line in the US. The only thing they will continue selling are the Ford Mustang and the Ford Focus Active. That means the Fiesta, the Focus, the Taurus, and the C-Max are gone in the US. Starting this year, and they're really going to focus, because we're Americans and we can't help it, they're going to focus on SUVs and trucks. Go figure. That's it. I just wanted to say that. It's weird. I mean, Ford is a huge company in America and like one of those defining brands, and for them to be scaling back is just sign of the times, right? People want things that work. That's why the Chinese, Japanese, and Korean cars sell so well here. Moving on, just a quick little story that I thought was cool. On the 20th as well, Hollow Knight Lifeblood shadow dropped free for anybody that had it, and it's just an additional like DLC that changes some things, updates things, adds in a new boss, changes a boss. Big patch, not DLC really, but a big patch for the game. With additional content, so it's not really DLC. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. Just the studio's been working on it and they released it. If you want to go back and watch some really fun times of me getting super frustrated, you should watch that. I streamed a full playthrough of that game. That was like back when I first started streaming, and definitely rough, but it was a fun game. It's just hard. It's just a hard, frustrating game. So I recommend you check it out, though. It was probably one of the best games of last year, realistically. The art style is really cool, and it was fun. It's challenging. The next topic, okay, Nintendo heavy, okay, and so I'm going to delve right into this. Nintendo heavy. This is via Kotaku, Japanese publication Nikkei. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Reports that Nintendo's current president, President Tatsumi Kimishima. Yes, excuse me, I'm reading that, apologize. Tatsumi Kimishima, who is 68 years old, is stepping down as the president. He was meant as an interim president when Iwata passed away, and he even stated he was never meant to really take over. He was just meant to kind of, I guess, see them through the kind of tough times that they were having until, as he puts, until sales rebounded, and then they were going to announce a new president. That day is today. Today they announced that he is going to be replaced by Shuntaro Furukawa. He's 46 years old, and he has actually been the managing executive officer, supervisor of corporate analysis, and administration division and director of Nintendo since 2016. That's a friggin' mouthful, man. And really, he's been the guiding force behind Nintendo's new direction for the last several years. And I mean, that's kind of how Nintendo works. The older guys, when they get to a certain age, they come out and say, "Hey, I want a younger guy who actually can see what our consumers want better than me, coming in and taking over." And especially this was an interim. I'm calling him interim like it's a coach. The interim head coach, the interim president. That's all he was meant to be, and so this is actually a more formal presentation of, hey, the guy that's actually really been running things for the last couple of years behind the scenes is now stepping up as the president. So that's always good. I like that. I like the way that they handled that. You want to announce a new president when the sales are going well and the uptick is happening for investors and everything like that. So I totally understand that side of it, and I think it was a smart move. I think it's a smart move to make that announcement getting into your second year of the Switch, very like the same day that releases, the NPD releases all these great statistics about the Wii. And that is tonight's topic, is frankly, Nintendo is straight up killing it right now. And I'll be the first to say, I was skeptical of the Switch, especially when concepts came out for it. I was skeptical. My last Nintendo system that I purchased when it came out was the Wii. And after, I think, 2 years of having that console, I felt burned because I felt like they, instead of actually producing content for it and getting third parties, they just said, screw it, it's going to be a gimmick machine, and we're just going to release gimmicks. Now, don't get me wrong, it had Twilight Princess and Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on it, but, and I'm sure you can find other games, Smash, all first-party Nintendo titles, they're all great, right? But there were no third party. Like, look at the Switch compared to the Wii and the Wii U. It's crazy just how the Switch is now flooded with third party content because it's a more open platform. So the NPD results are in, and Nintendo has sold 17.79 million units last year of the Switch. Its first year. That's friggin' crazy. They expect to sell 20 million this year, which seems a bit high considering what they've sold this year. So I don't know where they're forecasting. I kind of agree. I don't know if you follow Michael Pachter at all, or I was going to say the Pack Attack, but it's a Pachter Factor on Sifted, but he's kind of saying the same thing, like 20 million just seems high for the forecast, especially given their growth and everything. That means they expect to sell like 4 million each of the first, I think it was like 12 million the first 3 quarters and then 8 in like December or something stupid like that. It doesn't make sense with their forecasting, but who cares? They're probably going to sell just as many, probably around 18 million again. So let's go over the huge sales besides the hardware sales on the software side. Excuse me, just to compare, the Wii U in its entire lifetime only sold 13.56 million. So to compare that in 1 year, it sold 5 million more is pretty incredible. 4 million more. So getting into it, as I'm very, very happy to report that Super Mario Odyssey has sold 10.41 million units. That was probably my favorite game of, that was my favorite game of last year, as I did a video saying that, and that was my favorite game of last year. Pure joy in a game, running around as Mario. Can't get any better than that. And 10.41 million out of 17.79, so 10 out of 18, 17 and a half, that's almost 60% of people who own a Switch own Mario. That's insanity, okay? That's an insane rate. That doesn't count bundles either. And these numbers don't count digital sales, man. That's insane. So that number really is probably closer to 65, maybe even 70%, including digital downloads. Nintendo, these numbers are NPD based. They are not taken into account digital downloads, okay? So for it to be at 58%, you got to figure what? 10%, at least another 10%, and a million people downloaded it, at least? I mean, you got to figure something like that, right? So even if it was 600,000, 11 million, you're almost there. So yeah, that's incredible. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a game that came out for the Wii U. Now granted, again, 13.56 million, okay? Wii U sold. So the install base was not that high, right? But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has already sold 9.27 million units. That is 4 million units less than Wii U consoles, okay? And this is for a game that's already come out, which is incredible. That's mind-blowing to me, is that a game that came out already and then was re-released on this system has sold more than 50%. That's 1 out of every 2 people, and of course I'm one of those 2 people that don't have it because I already played it, for 150 hours on Wii U. But that has Mario Kart 8. Again, not including digital downloads. Crazy great. Zelda Breath of the Wild, 8.48 million units. I'm really happy to see that, even though I thought this Zelda was good but not great. You know, 8 out of 10, 8.5, something like that. I'm really happy to hear that the Zelda franchise is thriving. It's the best-selling Zelda ever, which is incredible. Which actually is a testament to how popular the Switch is. That just under half the people, I would say with digital sales, half the people own a Zelda game. That's never ever happened, not even close. And you know what's crazy is they released that tech demo for Zelda Breath of the Wild. I bet you if they released that thing as just a game, that just in 2D style, that would sell 5 million units. Hell, I actually wanted that more than I wanted Breath of the Wild. But alas, that's not meant to be. I know there was a little mod that some guy created, or a little game that he had to turn into something else because Nintendo came in and slapped his wrist. But I would love a 2D Zelda game on the Switch. Something like a Link Between Worlds, but with that lush style. Anyways, moving on, we got Splatoon 2. Now, a couple months ago, Splatoon, they announced that it had sold as much as the original, which is fantastic news. They're not for me. I don't play multiplayer games. I really like the art style. I basically like everything about it. I like the shooter nature. I'll probably end up picking it up down the line and just playing the single player campaign or whatnot. But not for me, but really glad to hear that. Now they announced that it's already sold 6.02 million, so more than a million units more than when we last checked in. That's friggin' awesome. I mean, that game came out in like June or July, so it hasn't even been a year yet. As a new franchise, already selling 6 million. 1 out of every 3 people own that for your system. That's pretty damn good. That's a high attach rate for that. And then kind of a surprise considering it's just come out, and this is the Switch Factor, right? This is a series that has never sold particularly well. It is an okay game, but they really came in on the cooperative nature of it, saying, hey, you can play with friends. It's easy to play with friends. It's lighthearted, and it's not as taxing, right? And you can come in and just have fun. And, you know, this isn't a game that's going to beat your ass or beat you down. It's just a game to have fun. And that is Kirby Star Allies has sold 1.25 million. It's been out for like a month. That's crazy. It's the highest selling start for Kirby since these sales have been tracked. Excuse me, the highest. It's the best debut, right? Is what they call the best debut for a Kirby game ever. And that's the Switch, baby. That's the Switch nature, okay? Everything's selling well on this. And so when I say Nintendo is killing it right now, they really are on all fronts. Obviously, their first-party software is going to do well, but they're really saying all the right things and doing all the right moves. I know last week I did a talk about the Virtual Console and doesn't matter, and this goes to show you that it doesn't. It doesn't matter about the Virtual Console. If you can get every dang PC indie on this thing like you can, and every Nintendo first-party game, I mean, hell, what more do you really need from a system, right? Yes, it's never going to be playing, I'm going to make a joke here, it's never going to play Crysis, okay? But it's not intended for that. It's not necessarily intended for the Dooms and the Wolfensteins, but hell, they're coming too, okay? I don't know if they're going to be the best version of those games, probably not, definitely not visually. But at the same time, that's not what the Switch is about. And if you're getting these PC games, big PC games, small PC games, I mean, heck, now you're basically, you've turned this into an indie Nintendo machine, and that's fantastic. That's what a lot of people want. And they're just making all the right moves, man. I can't believe it. To be honest, okay, for me personally, I have played Zelda and I have played Mario. I have Puyo Puyo Tetris. I've put maybe an hour into it because I don't have any friends. That's basically just it. And I've got one more game that I'm just blanking on. That's on my Octopath Traveler, right? And I played an hour and a half of that. That's all I played for the Switch because I buy Nintendo consoles for Nintendo stuff. All the PC indie games I play on my PC. Hell, I stream most of them. So it's not really hitting for me. But they're going to be releasing Tropical Freeze soon. Probably going to buy that. Played that for Wii U. That was really damn fun. It's an excellent Donkey Kong game. If you've never played that game, buy it for Switch. Please God, buy it for Switch. It's a fantastic game. And I don't have to play with motion controls probably, so that's going to be even better because motion controls sucked on the Wii U. But they're doing all the right things, saying all the right moves. They just need to keep up the momentum. Okay, this system is going to sell, but now it's for them to maintain that momentum, right? This is a ridiculously fast start for any console, and selling 18 million units in a year is crazy. Okay, that's really damn good. But at the same time, they need to keep up this momentum and do what they didn't for the Wii U, or excuse me, for the Wii, and they didn't do at all for the Wii U. So that's basically it for tonight. Just wanted to highlight that. Those numbers are pretty astounding, especially the Super Mario Odyssey. None of these consider digital downloads, which are becoming more and more popular, and people don't want to mess with cartridges and CDs anymore and DVDs and all that crap. They just want everything digitally, and it's moving towards that. It's kind of a shame that Microsoft didn't launch their console, now, because nobody would have said shit, right? Nobody would have said anything, but 5 years ago, people were pretty pissed. So yeah, that'll do it. My name's GWFawkes, GWFawkes. This is the Model Gaming Show. You can find me here, twitch.tv/Model Gaming Show. Check my schedule. I apologize this week. I've been MIA. I was sick, very sick, and kept pushing back the stream, thinking I could play, but really was not healthy. You wouldn't have seen that. It would have been a terrible stream, and it would have just been me feeling ill. So should be back on track. New changes to come in May, changing up the schedule. Like I said, this is the last show on Thursdays at this time. Going forward, I'm going to be doing Sundays about this time, 7 or 8. My schedule changed for work, and that makes a little bit more sense to have a Sunday show, Sunday talk show, rather than eat up some time during the week, do a Sunday talk show, have my Monday night stream, try and do Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Thursday nights I can't anymore. And once June comes into play, then I'm going to start really hitting those Friday new games. So looking forward to being back here. You can check all my archives on YouTube. Just search for Model Gaming Show. And thank you for watching. It really means a lot, even if it's on the archive. Have a good night.